Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody, and in this video, we're going to be talking about something that happened yesterday in the world, and we're going to connect it to the Golden Gate of the ecliptic. Okay, so this is a basically a what looks to be a gate in the sign of Taurus. So let me just read this, and big shout out to this website, Peaked, spelled just like this. If you guys want to go check out this website, he talks all about this Golden Gate on his website. But yeah, so basically, the Golden Gate, also known as the Gate of God, comes from Egyptian mythology, specifically the Book of Gates. It depicts the journey of Osiris, the sun, around the zodiac throughout a normal year, as well as the great year of the precession of the equinoxes, which takes place 26,000 years. It symbolizes the exit point for the soul after death, and has its opposite in the Silver Gate of Isis, which is the entry point for the soul into the flesh. So this Golden Gate, guys, this Golden Gate of the ecliptic, because of the precession, or because of the slow moving movement of the ecliptic, these bodies, they shift across the ecliptic. So in each part of the ecliptic has a degree. Okay, so in this case, the Golden Gate moves into a new degree every 72 years. And as he writes here on his writing, that the last two times this has happened has been highly coded events. Okay, so the last 2 degrees for the Golden Gate to move was, firstly, it moved into the 266 degree on 3/31/1939, and then on 12/11/2010, it moved into the 267th degree. So we're going to talk about these two dates: the date it moved into the 266th degree and the day it moved into the 267th degree. And we're going to connect these dates to Pope Francis. Okay, so let's look at this. So Pope Francis, also known as the Pontiff. Okay, this is another name for the Pope, Pontiff. Okay, it's a member of the most illustrious college of priests of the Roman religion. Okay, and nowadays the term pontiff is used especially to describe the Pope. And as you guys can see here, the word pontiff breaks down to the root bridge maker or bridge builder. So basically, Pope Francis, or pontiff, or a pope, means bridge builder. And of course, we're talking about the Golden Gate of the ecliptic, which also connects us to the Golden Gate Bridge. So Pope Francis is the 266th Pope, right? And he, again, I told you the Golden Gate moved into the 266th degree of the ecliptic, all right, on 3/31/1939. That was only a few years after the 266th Pope was born. So again, Pope Francis, the bridge builder, the Golden Gate Bridge, right? He's the 266th Pope. The Golden Gate of the ecliptic moved into this 266 degree in 3/31/1939. Okay, now look at this. Catholic Pope equals 123 in the same cipher as the Golden Gate. Okay, so I'm going to show you more about why that's important in a minute. So from the day that Pope Francis was born, and he's the 266th Pope, from the day he was born, 12/17/1936, to the day that the Golden Gate of the ecliptic moved into the 266 degree, was 2 years, 105 days. Okay, now this is important because we're talking about the 266th Pope, his birth, to the day that the Golden Gate moved into the 266 degree. Okay, and it's 2 years and 105 days. 105 days connects us right back to 266th. Again, We're talking from the 266 Pope to the 266 degree of the ecliptic for the Golden Gate, and the phrase 266 equals 105, like Jorge Mario Bergoglio, and he is the 266th Pope. And from the day he's born to the day this moved into the 266 degree was 2 years, 105 days. And that ties us perfectly to Pope Francis and the number 266, which equals his full name. So what are the chances that his full name equals 266th, which is he is the 266th Pope? Also, the word golden equals 105, and we're talking about the Golden Gate. So not a coincidence that he's born 2 years or 105 days before the Golden Gate moved into the 266 degree. Now, I told you we're going to come back to this number 123, but Pope Francis has a huge connection not only to the Golden Gate of the ecliptic, but also to the Golden Gate Bridge. Now, the Golden Gate Bridge, of course, ties us perfectly back to the Golden Gate of the ecliptic. But from the day that Pope Francis, again, Pope Pontiff means bridge builder, okay, so another connection to bridges. From his birth, 12/17/1936, to the end of the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge was 123 days. And that's important because Catholic Pope equals 123 and the Golden Gate 123. So from the day he was born to the end of the construction of the Golden Gate is 123 days. Catholic Pope 123, the Golden Gate 123, the Holy Bible 123, Catholic Mass 123, Conspiracy 123. Not only that, it was 123 days from his birth to the construction of the bridge being ended, but from his birth to the opening of the bridge was 161 days. And in mathematics, the number 161 is the 123rd composite number. So you're telling me that from the day he was born to the construction of the bridge ending was the 123, and from the day he was born to the opening of the bridge is 161, which is the 123 composite number. Okay, and again, Catholic Pope, which is what he is, equals the Golden Gate with that 123 number. Okay, so this is pretty obvious. So there's your clear connection to Pope Francis and his life being scripted with the Golden Gate. And don't forget, he's Francis, and we're talking about the Golden Gate, which is located in Francisco, San Francisco. Okay. Now we're going to go to yesterday, September 9th, 9/9, and there was a bridge collapse. So there was a bridge collapse in Vietnam, okay, because of a flood, because of a typhoon. And this was the same day that Pope Francis, the bridge builder, was in East Timor, which is also in this same area of Asia, okay? So Pope Francis is on his Asian tour, and in that time, the day he's on that tour, you have a bridge in Asia collapsing, okay? Just like we had the collapse earlier this year of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and I just tied Pope Francis to the Golden Gate Bridge, okay? And so look at this. From Pope Francis' last birthday to yesterday on September 9th, when this bridge collapsed in Vietnam, it was 267 days after his birthday. And again, guys, I was talking about the Golden Gate of the ecliptic, okay, and how it moved into the 266 degree in 1939, but in 2010, the Golden Gate of the ecliptic moved into the 267th degree on 12/11/2010, just a few years before he became a pope. The next pope, that means, will be the 267th pope. And right now, the Golden Gate is in the 267th degree. And yesterday, a bridge collapses 267 days after the bridge builder's birthday. And the name of the bridge, Fong Chau Bridge, equals 267. So again, this bridge, the Fong Chau Bridge, equals 267. It collapses 267 days after the Pope's birthday. The next Pope will be the 267th Pope. And the Golden Gate is currently in the 267th degree of the ecliptic since 2010. Okay. And this also ties to yesterday because from the day that the Golden Gate of the ecliptic moved into the 267th degree to yesterday's bridge collapse, which was the 267 days after Pope's birthday, it was 5,021 days. And 5,021 is the 673rd prime, and 673 is the 122 prime, and Pope Francis equals 122. So again, from the 267th degree of the Golden Gate, the day it moved into the 267 degree to the yesterday, 267 days after his birthday, with a bridge collapse that's equals 267, it breaks down, the days in between breaks down to 673, which breaks down to 122, which is the gematria of Pope Francis. And it's also the gematria that Pope Francis shares with San Francisco, 122. And last night, the Monday Night Football primetime game was the San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Jets. Okay, so this game happened the same night this bridge collapsed, and it was on the 267 day of after Pope's birthday. Okay, and again, the Golden Gate is in the 267 degree, and the bridge that collapsed equals 267. Okay, and San Francisco equals Pope Francis, and Pope Francis being in Asia when this bridge collapsed. And so this 673 that I just showed you here, because I told you from the Golden Gate moving in 267 degree to yesterday's was 5021 days, which is the 673rd prime, which is the 122 prime. But here we're going to connect San Francisco again, because from the opening of the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge to the day that the Golden Gate of the ecliptic moved into the 266th degree on 3/31/1939, 5/27, 1937 opening of the Golden Gate to the Golden Gate of the ecliptic moving into the 266th degree was 673 days, guys. And that's the number I just showed you that yesterday was connected with. From the 267th degree to yesterday was 5/21, which is the 673rd prime. And 673 is the amount of days the Golden Gate Bridge opened before the Golden Gate of the ecliptic moved into the 266th degree. Okay, and again, 673 is the 122nd prime, and San Francisco, where the bridge is located, equals 122. Do you see how perfect that is, lining up with yesterday and the bridge collapse, and then the bridge in San Francisco being open 673 days before? Okay. Now, in case you guys didn't think, this is the final slide, but in case you guys didn't already believe that this bridge collapse yesterday was connected to the Golden Gate of the ecliptic, look at this. If you type in the full title of Wikipedia calling this the Golden Gate of the ecliptic, okay, and you type in the name of the bridge, Fong Chao Bridge collapse, which is what it did, Fong Chao Bridge collapse, is a super match to Golden Gate of the ecliptic. Do you see this, guys? A 4 out of 4 cipher match. I mean, just amazing. Okay. Fong Chao Bridge collapse is a 4 out of 4 cipher match to Golden Gate of the ecliptic. And again, I just tied all this to the Golden Gate of the ecliptic. And yesterday in San Francisco was playing a game yesterday when this bridge in Vietnam collapsed, and Pope Francis was in Asia. Okay. So this is all incredible, really. I mean, the fact that this is a 4 out of 4 cipher match. And there's actually a lot more to be said here, but I wanted to keep the video short. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back with another video in the next couple days. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.